Who is that?
Okay, we're ready. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the special emergency meeting. It's January 27th, 2026, 8:45 a.m. If you'll stand with me again for a moment of silence, and we'll do the pledge. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. All right, you may be seated. Colin, have you got that down yet? Okay, well, you were this close. We're going to call it, you know how in class you stand up and show everybody? Your day's coming. I'll make sure I'm just warning you. I just don't want to embarrass you.
Hey, you be careful. He's my Bama buddy.
Oh, okay.
Roll
Well,
Tide.
everybody needs to stick together. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Mayor Crawford.
Here.
Counselor Eby.
Here.
Counselor Letterman.
Here.
Counselor Salas.
Here.
Counselor Jackson.
Here.
Counselor Corey.
Here. All right, thank you. We have one item on the agenda today's discussion and possible action on adoption of Resolution 2026-08, a resolution declaring a local emergency in the village of Ruidoso. Good morning, Emergency Manager Eric, and good morning, Fire Chief Hall.
Good morning, Council. Good morning, everyone. It's been an interesting couple of days. So thought I would walk you through the events that perspired over the last couple of days, make sure everyone's understanding before we get into the resolution and why we are going for a declaration of local disaster. The Village Emergency Operations Center on January 1st elevated to level 3, increased readiness for the oncoming winter storm. This was enacted by the National Weather Service, transitioning the Village of Ruidoso and Lincoln County to a winter storm watch. At the time, the National Weather Service was forecasting 6 to 10 inches of snow and minimal ice. We all know that has changed. So with that, the Emergency Operations Center started daily weather coordination calls starting January 22nd. These weather coordination calls brings Village of Ruidoso employees, departments, Emergency Operations Center staff, as well as external partners like ENMU Ruidoso, Ruidoso Municipal School District, Lincoln County Medical Center, as well as Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management with the state of New Mexico. In total, since now, we have had 6 weather coordination calls lasting 30 minutes on coordinated response efforts. By January 26, we activated the PIO function of the Village of Ruidoso Emergency Operations Center, and the first Facebook message went out at 12:11 p.m., notifying that we are under a storm watch and potentially going into a storm warning from the National Weather Service.
What date was that, Eric?
That was January 22nd.
Okay.
Since then, January 24th is when we started seeing impacts. We saw an escalation of call volume through the Ruidoso PSAP, Public Safety Answering Point, that morning around 5 a.m. The Emergency Operations Center moved to Level 2 High Readiness, which activates the command and general staff functions of the EOC, and we sustained 24 hours. Since the January 24th escalation, the EOC has maintained Level 2 High Readiness, working 24 hours to support coordinated and response efforts for the Village of Ruidoso. With that, at 6:40 a.m. On January 24th, the first notification of a power outage ensued, affecting 1,619 customers. By 10 a.m., ENM was reporting 3,615 customers without power. At the same time, the EOC, under the Mass Care Division, activated the warming center at the library and was open for the public. We saw no public at that time. At 2 p.m., we worked with our partners with ENMU Ruidoso and transitioned the warming center to ENMU Ruidoso again at 2 p.m. We started seeing folks get to the warming center that afternoon. Today, as we stand before us, also before we get into that, The reason why the EOC was activated was dispatch had 45 calls pending for service on January 22nd, overwhelming dispatch as well as local response efforts. We also called in Public Works, all Public Works to coordinate that response efforts. During that time, we also activated the labor pool for the Village of Ruidoso for sheltering staff as well as call center staff. With that, those were the first initial hours and days of the EOC activation. Again, we are maintaining 24-hour operations to today. We do look at de-escalating to a level 3 preparedness posture as we continue into the later parts of response and the early parts of recovery. So the resolution that you have before you today is because of the main issue, which is debris. I know we are no strangers to debris, but right now, doing a quick windshield survey, we believe that we have in total for debris, $4 million in debris. So we are coordinating that through the State Operations Center and making sure that we are accounting for that and making sure that we're going to get reimbursed for that.
Is that on public property or both private?
Both.
Okay.
And then, so category A, which is your debris category for FEMA. Then you have category B, which is your emergency protective measure. We believe that we've also hit 500,000 in emergency protective measures in coordination with the county. So counties are based on county thresholds, not just Village of Ruidoso thresholds. So between the village operations and the county operations and Ruidoso Downs operations, we believe that we have exceeded the county threshold of $95,000. The state threshold is quite larger. We do not believe that we will meet the state threshold, but the state does have a public assistance program like FEMA that we will be coordinating through, so state recovery funds and reimbursements.
How many people are currently out of power?
So current numbers as of just a few minutes ago, PNM is reporting 53 outages reported by PNM, resulting in 643 customers. Yesterday at 10 o'clock p.m., that was the first time within the since the EOC moved to level 2 activation that number has been below 1,000 residents.
Eric, do you know, are all these people in the same area, or is it?
It is quite spread.
Oh, is it? Okay.
In coordination with PNM, they have informed us that they don't have an adequate system to report who has power and who does not. They do it off of circuit lines and transfer stations. So if they have that transfer station and that line is not going to power, they will estimate how many people are without power in that area.
And is there power now at the schools?
With that, there is limited power in a couple of schools. PNM is reporting that they are not in a service area that has that does not have power. But to reaffirm that, I do have the EOC contacting Becca to confirm that those schools have power. I know that played a significant role in her Currently, the PNM has over 100 linemen in the Village of Ruidoso supporting restoration efforts. And we also did push out the REACH survey, that is the Ruidoso Emergency Assistance Community Help Survey. This is our damage assessment tool. We encourage folks in the Village of Ruidoso to go to ruidoso-nm.gov/damages and please report their damages so we can look at getting that threshold number to increase so we can get community assistance. So again, with that, when we comes to the REACH survey, we did post that yesterday. Total, we have 17 total damages that are self-reported. So this is not all the damages. This is just, to this point, the damages that have been self-reported by the public.
Eric,
Yes, ma'am.
you know, some people aren't going to do all that damage. Can they call the Village of Ruidoso and us get it to where we need it to go?
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Letterman, we can assist with whatever they need. We can, whatever resources, we can be the go-between, like calling PNM or others. We can do that. A lot of them that have damage on their property, they need to contact their insurance and do other things, and then we're always there to assist. We've never.
So is that for PNM?
No, this is for us. So when you get into the FEMA programs, you have public assistance, which is reimbursement on our part, and then you have individual assistance. Individual assistance is your FEMA checks that you'll get issued post-disaster. So it is a slim shot, I will be honest, to get an individual assistance declaration, but there is a chance. And so we want to make sure that we want to get those reports in, to report them to the state so they can push it to the federal government so they can add us. One of the unique situations about this winter storm, it did not just affect the village of Ruidoso. It affected pretty much the Rocky Mountain southern portion all the way to the east coast.
Yeah.
And so FEMA has been issuing disaster declarations for Texas, New Mexico, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, for this winter event. So if we do have a shot to board that train to get under their declarations, we want to definitely try.
Are businesses eligible?
Businesses go through the Small Business Administration. I have not heard anything, Counselor Mayor, on the Small Business Administration loan program, but we will follow up with that.
The businesses were down several days, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
And Mayor and Council, you know, the declaration today going to the state, to the governor, and that's for any incurred costs by the village that we have for overtime. Contractors that helping us with snow removal, with trees that are down. So that's just like Judy mentioned in her report, is we had that money back from the Goliath that we carried over, but we submitted all our expenses, we were reimbursed, and then that's what this is more towards for the
And the
village.
state threshold is 95?
threshold is 125 million.
No.
No, for
state.
state,
For the state,
95.
Yes, for the
No,
local,
for our state declaration is 95,000?
yes, sir.
Okay, that's for
Yep.
losses, and then for the whole state's 125?
Yes, sir.
So,
Okay.
So
What's
with
the time limit
time limits,
on them declaring?
when we meet that state threshold,
So we've got a month or so?
that's month or
So
so.
maybe we can work through our insurance agents when people are calling in for roof damage and things of that nature, that they can notify these people. Do we have a mechanism to call those folks?
The damaged folks,
The insurance companies, the insurance agents saying, hey, we're trying to get this declaration. If you have claims, would you let your people know?
yes, so we can work with the Office of Superintendent of Insurance to work with them. And I know that the Community Organizations Active in Disaster for Lincoln County does have representatives from the insurance agencies. So we'll get that message out,
Okay,
Mayor.
perfect.
With that, just quick damage assessments and then windshield surveys. As Ron said, that we will be conducting some damage assessments. If people, if citizens of the village of Ruidoso need any assistance, they can still call the EOC number and dispatch as well, the non-emergency dispatch, and we'll get those taken care of. So with that, just quick high-level numbers. These are self-reported. We have 0 destroyed. We have 2 major. We have 9 minor, and we have 5 affected structures. This is mostly in part of trees snapping and falling through the roofs of houses. So with that, the resolution before you. Is for, again, the 2024 winter weather event with the significant weather, ice and temperatures, freezing temperatures, and the shelter operations. And again, as the village manager did say, we are just going through the correct approaches to get reimbursements started so we can reoccur cost. Because we do know that unfortunately, we have had significant events that have perspired over the last 2 years, so we want to make sure that we are incorporating every cost available. Because unfortunately, we do know that we are a disaster-prone community, and we know that we will be having additional incidences within this budget cycle and year. So we want to make sure that we are incorporating all of our costs for reimbursement.
Eric, I'm curious, I've seen posts on social media, you know, saying, I'm still out of power, who do I call? And then the village responds, who's behind the scenes responding to those?
So for the, for the power statement, Counselor Corey, is, we do, notify P&M of those,
No, but
outages.
I mean, who is physically responding on social media?
Oh,
On
it's
behalf
going.
of the village?
Good question, Counselor Corey. Mayor, council, so our Public Information Division of the Emergency Operations Center is through the agency. So we do have a team of 3 PIOs, that's Carrie Gladden, Bay Hirschfeld, and Jerry Corliss. They do rotate on a schedule, so it is not just Carrie all the time, it is Bay, and it is Jerry. So again, just how we are sustaining 24 hours. The Emergency Operations Center, we have folks at the Physical Operations Center at the Horton Complex, but we also have our virtual EOC as well. So, the public information side has been virtual for this incident.
Well, and Mayor, they're doing a great job. I mean, it's so responsive to people that are looking for answers.
Right. And our representative with P&M, Kevin Cordova, Cardoza.
Cardosa.
Cardosa has been very responsive.
Good.
And in fact, I was in an EOC meeting standing in the background and left, and it was put on social media that what P&M had said at the time, that they were ceasing operations at 9 o'clock, people were rotating out. And that got out and people responded. And then I got a call from the vice president of P&M saying they were going to have crews working throughout the night. And I know that we had some issues with hotlines, that our firefighters could not go take care of this area because the tree was active. And so now then we've got Davy, and I'm not sure the other company in there to help speed that up. And that was an impediment to a lot of the snow plowing that Mark and the guys were doing, wherever he went. That was slowing them up because they couldn't get in those areas.
Sure.
Because we were getting phone calls. So we've done a lot of work with P&M. They've been pretty responsive to make adjustments as best they could, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the correct, Mayor, council, P&M has been adjusting as we've gone through this. I will say, every disaster that this village faces, everyone in this town rises up to the occasion and the challenge. This is the most resilient community I've had the honor of serving. And that goes beyond just the village of Rito. That extends into our partners with P&M, with our partners with Via Natural Gas, our partners with Ritos Municipal School District, everyone that has come through. The slogan that kind of was coined after the South Fork fire through through our Office of Emergency Management is One Village Response. And it's not just the village responding, the village municipal government, it is everyone in the village responding. And it's no different from the South Fork fires to the 2024-2025 monsoon season floodings. This incident was no different. So, correct, Mayor, they've made their adjustments. I'm not saying there was some growing pains. There definitely were. But we're pleased to again work with such amazing cooperators and folks for this incident.
Is the
So
warming center still open?
that is correct, Counselor Corey. So currently we have 13 patrons, citizens in the shelter, and once power is restored to all of the community, we'll look at shutting down that facility.
It's been fantastic.
Yes.
They even had the football games on the TVs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, K-Bob's, the Red Cross
Yep.
hired K-Bob's to come in and feed people hot meals twice a day. They had a lot of snacks from Walmart and Albertsons, so it was great.
I had to chuckle. I saw a post someplace in West Texas announcing, due to weather conditions, our warming center at the library will be closing.
Oh, wow.
It's too cold.
And Mayor and Council, and Mayor Crawford and I spoke to Ryan Trosper and thanked him, and he's a great partner, and he's been there all weekend and just helping us out. So, just great to have them on board with the village.
Yeah, he had staff that was working there. We had A&A, Alex and Amber were in there working, and ramen noodles and the whole thing. So everybody worked good, and a lot of positive comments on just the facility. So Thanks for putting that together.
Of course, no, it's our plan, and unfortunately, we plan for the worst and hope for the best, and we're really good with our cooperating partners. Ryan was the first call to hey, we need another facility because we're expanding this operation due to the unforeseen circumstances, or the unfortunate circumstances rather. And he was like, whatever you need, and so we're again really grateful for his partnership.
Did Horton lose power?
So, Councilor Corey, Mayor, Council, we talked about the growing pains. There was some identified gaps. They have since been resolved. The day of the 22nd, the Horton Complex did lose power. Generator backup did have issues starting. Again, we have since addressed that. The 911 dispatch, the Ruidoso Area Dispatch Public Safety Answering Point also went down, and their power backup did have issues, but just like all operations and what we train for, we do have multiple redundancies. Those redundancies did kick in. Those calls did transfer to the SO office in Carrizozo, as well as the Tularosa Regional Dispatch Authority. Those calls did transfer. There was no interruption of 911 services. They transferred off the mountain, and then on potable radios, they reached our dispatch, and then we paged out fire EMS crews. With that also, the EOC, with redundancy in action, we did transfer for a short time our emergency operations center to the command trailer that we purchased for the village of Ruidoso, and we ran out of the our mobile command unit for a short time while we addressed the generator concerns. So we tested all layers of redundancy.
And you called in some cows. Did we ever have any cell phone downage?
So we had limited shortwave downage. We are addressing that. One of the things that we have identified, again, going into fire season and the PSPS, Public Safety Power Shutoff season, we're working on a community impact report. One of the things that we did identify was the 3 providers that cover the village of Ruidoso, T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T. T-Mobile has all battery and generator backup. T-Mobile stayed operational this event. AT&T has limited redundancies. They are working to address that. And then Verizon has all but 1 tower that has battery backup and generator. They are working on it. Mayor and Council, Mayor, to your question, when it comes to the communications, we did not see a significant reduction in communications for cell phone providers this incident, but we are planning again, if we do have a larger scale outage, to make sure we address those concerns. We were working with the State Operations Center on a request for CALS, the cellular on wheels. That is still pending. The same request also came from PNM for CALS, the cellular on wheels. So they are in the process, but as this event is going, is concluding and we're transitioning into recovery operation, we might cancel that request since we have seen a stabilization in the community lifeline due to those disruption and being powered restored to those communication sites.
According to the supervisor that was in the Upper Canyon, they think they'll be totally complete. They finished the 3-phase line all the way in. They were working on the what do they call the ancillary, the sidelines, the whatever they call it. They
Feeder?
should be through today, this afternoon, with Upper Canyon. So
What about Paradise?
I'll hand it over to Incident Commander Chief Hall for closing remarks and to answer that question.
They're working, well, they stayed till 11 o'clock last night working on Paradise, and they cleared it and came back early this morning to continue on. They had a lot of debris, and it was in those, unfortunately, it was in those S-turns. So we've had it shut down the entire time just due to the fact that there is a lot of debris that needs to get picked up and a lot of lines down, and it's just, it's dangerous. So, but they're looking at, their fingers crossed, finishing that today as well.
okay. Any other questions? So are you off the computer and you're writing books for posterity? Or are you going to have a whole library of these handwritten books for your grandchildren to read, like what Papa did?
You know, I was talking with, our partner. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of meeting. I know, Mayor, you have Karina Gonzalez. She's our Red Cross rep. And she gave me this book during the monsoon season. She gave me a book during the wildfire. And it's kind of a running joke of, I need you to stop giving me notebooks so I can write stuff in it. And I'm just going to acquire my own notebooks. But it's like, we need to stop meeting this way. But I'm glad we have such a great partnership, Karina. And then about 2 days ago, I was like, I'm getting to the end of my book. And so she gave me another book. And then this happened. So it's like part 3, the sequel. And I'm like, I need you to stop making these jokes. But yes, Mayor, we'll
Yeah,
keep
no more
these in an
books.
archive. Maybe you'll go to our museum.
Museum one day, yeah. Awesome. Any other questions? Nope. We entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, move adoption of Resolution 2026-08, a resolution declaring a local emergency in the village of Ruidoso.
Second.
Any final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
All right. Anything else? That concludes the agenda today for the emergency meeting for the village of Ruidoso. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.
I gotta get some water. Does anybody else